chained for playing truant. Dreamworld boss under fire. I'm Sohaila Sarifuddin. This is Cuppa News. Netizens woke up this morning to disturbing images of a girl being chained to a lamppost. According to police, the girl's mother was briefly questioned and released last night. Subang Jaya OCPD Muhammad Azlin Sadari said police were alerted about the incident at the Lagoon Perdana apartment in Bandar Sunway about 6:35 p.m. on Wednesday. When his men arrived at the scene, a crowd had already gathered around the 8-year-old girl. The mother appeared 10 minutes later and admitted that she chained her daughter as punishment for refusing to go to school. According to ACP Azlin, it was the first time the girl had been chained. Police are investigating the case for neglect and exposure of a child to physical injury. In the meantime, child rights advocate Dr. Hartini Zainuddin said that punishing the mother is not the best way to deal with the situation.
I think it's a matter of the mother feeling like she has no options. I don't think it's a crime that was committed, I think it was definitely something that was abusive and something that the mother has to be made aware of. It cannot happen again. Like I said, I think this is more a case for counseling and guidance and advice and options and open communication more than putting her in jail or fining her. It doesn't warrant that kind of punitive approach to rehabilitation. She doesn't need rehabilitation.
Dr. Hartini, however, condemned the act, saying that it was obviously a case of abuse, but the mother should be educated to understand that she did not have to resort to such measures and had other options in dealing with the child. In another story that has gone viral, the MACC today released a statement over allegations that one of its officers had brutally assaulted his wife and son. The anti-graft agency said that it would be cooperating with the police and also open investigation papers against the officer. The MACC stressed that it would not hesitate to take disciplinary action against the alleged wife beater if he is found guilty. Members of the public are also urged not to speculate on the matter and let the police conduct a thorough probe. In other news, the Red Shirts have submitted a notice to the police to hold a counter-demonstration against Bersih 5 at Dataran Merdeka on November 5th. IGP Tan Sri Khalid Abu Bakar said police would be calling in the organisers to discuss their intention of holding the demonstration and determine whether the gathering was within the provisions of the Peaceful Assembly Act. He also rubbished allegations of police inaction in the face of disturbances during various gatherings held by the Bersih supporters and the Red Shirts group. Meanwhile, My Watch chairman Dato' R. Sri Sanjeevan Nair claimed trial at the Petaling Jaya Sessions Court to a charge of insulting the IGP on Facebook. The offence was committed on September 3rd. Judge Azhanis Teh Azman Teh set bail at 3,000 ringgit in one surety pending mention on November 28th. Sanjeevan was previously charged with extortion, hiring an illegal worker and faking an overseas university degree. The cases are still pending. No compromise on safety. After 2 fires, the Health Ministry has ordered the entire West Block of Sultanah Aminah Hospital to be shut down immediately. Health Minister Datuk Seri Dr. S. Subramaniam said the closure is to allow the concession company and engineering team to inspect the whole block, including its wiring, utility, biomedical gas and structure. He added that some of the patients warded in the West Block will be transferred to Sultan Ismail Hospital and Permai Hospital. Private hospitals have also been asked to assist HSA. Meanwhile, the Johor Fire and Rescue Department denied claims that the fire was caused by a charging mobile phone. Its Operations Division Assistant Director, Muhammad Rizal Buang, said the actual cause had yet to be identified as the investigation was still ongoing. In another development, Medivest, the maintenance company for HSA, has apparently escaped suspension.
Dan betul-betul kementerian tidak bercadang untuk menggantungkan perkhidmatan Medivest sepanjang tempoh setahun kerana akan menjaskan perkhidmatan sokongan hospital di hospital berkenaan dan seterusnya akan menjaskan perkhidmatan kesihatan bagi negeri Johor dan juga Melaka dan juga di Negeri Sembilan. Walaupun manifest boleh dikenakan penalti atau lain-lain tindakan yang lebih tegas sekiranya didapati manifest tidak mematuhi obligasi yang ditetapkan dalam perjanjian konsesi hasil daripada laporan Jawatankuasa Siasatan Bebas Kelab.
Dr. Hilmi was responding to DAP Kluang MP Liu Chin Tong, who later requested for a Royal Commission of Inquiry to be established. Medivest currently maintains 6 hospitals in Negeri Sembilan, 3 in Malacca and 12 in Johor. Watching MPs take jabs at each other in the August House can be amusing. Today it was the Selangor MB versus the Urban Wellbeing, Housing and Local Government Minister over the Semenyih River contamination.
Saya berharap Yang Berhormat Tanjung Karang fokus kementerian dia, jangan masuk campur portfolio yang lain. Ini saya telah sampaikan kepada Yang Berhormat Menteri Alam Sekitar semalam. Sekurang-kurangnya Yang Berhormat Menteri Alam Sekitar ada inisiatif untuk turun dan bincang dengan kerajaan negeri. Tapi saya tidak bekerjasama dengan Tanjung Karang. Saya akan lawan dia habis-habisan kerana mempolitikkan isu ini. Nak jaga udang pun gagal. Macam mana nak jaga sungai? Udang yang hidup dalam sungai pun mati kan sendiri. Kerana pencemaran yang dilakukan.
Azmin was referring to Tan Sri Noh Omar's tenure as Minister of Agriculture and Agro-Based Industry when the latter was allegedly involved in a shrimp farming business in Tanjung Karang in 2012.
Ini sudah bermakna. Jadi saya
Both MPs ignored the Speaker's order for them to sit down and he was forced to adjourn the proceedings for a lunch break. Meanwhile, former ministers Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, Datuk Sri Ahmad Husni Hanadzlah and Datuk Sri Shafi'i Abdal may have breached their ministerial oaths by revealing details about cabinet meetings in Parliament.
Saya pernah jadi menteri dulu. Dan sebagai menteri kita angkat sumpah jawatan. Apabila kita angkat sumpah jawatan, kita bersumpah bahawa kita tidak akan menzahirkan kepada sesiapa perkara-perkara yang kita dapat ketahui sewaktu kita menjawat sebagai menteri. Jadi kalau informasi yang kita dapat itu sewaktu kita memegang jawatan, bermakna kita sudah melanggar kita punya sumpah. Jadi di parlimen ini kita boleh cakap apa sahaja, tetapi ada akta-akta tertentu. Kalau berhujah itu, walaupun kita tahu sesuatu isu, harus hati-hati. Tetapi ada yang bermakna apabila sudah dia berdepan dengan mikrofon, terus dia berdiri, langsung semua itu dia lupa.
He was referring to comments made by the 3 former ministers, all of which touch on 1MDB in the Dewan Rakyat this week. Pandikar, however, said the parliament would not be able to take action against them and he could only remind them that they may face the OSA and Sedition Act. In other news, the Prime Minister launched a special task force to combat terror threats in Malaysia called the National Special Operations Force NSOF. The task force consists of existing personnel from the police, army, navy and maritime agencies. The 17 officers and 170 personnel have been training over the past 6 months. Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak expressed his confidence that the NSOF would be successful in safeguarding the country's peace and security. In world news, Ardent Leisure Group CEO Deborah Thomas told a press conference on Thursday that she has not spoken to the families of those killed by a malfunctioning ride at the Dreamworld theme park. She also appeared flustered when asked about receiving a lucrative bonus days after the tragedy.
I'm not going to discuss anything to do with that at this stage.
Why not?
Because I don't think it's appropriate under the circumstances. 4 people died very recently and we are all shattered by this. This is not something that you deal with very easily. So right now, I do not want to discuss transactions at this point.
The 4 people killed in the accident on Tuesday were near the end of the Thunder River Rapids ride when disaster struck. 3 of those killed were from the same family. Towers of black smoke hung over the jungle on Wednesday as fires raged through the ramshackle migrant camp in dramatic scenes. The fires, set by migrants and officials alike to have been started deliberately, reduced the flimsy shelters to charred husks. Passengers smashed windows to escape a Boston subway train after it filled with smoke on Wednesday. The amateur video also showed others trying to pry train doors open. Authorities said a faulty motor caused the train car to overheat. ABBA are set to reunite for the new digital experience in 2018, with more than 30 years after their last public performance together. The Swedish pop group will team up with American Idol creator Simon Fuller and Universal Music Group for the collaboration. Dancing Queens, rejoice! And that's a wrap for Cuppa News. Good night.